Molweni. I want to start by emphasizing the overdue call from the singer Loyiso when he says, Yamadoda sabelani, Yamadoda ngandani, yiyo lengozi, city lengozi. Simply meaning, we need to answer the clarion call of our daughters, our sisters, mothers, grandmothers, our women and all of society to protect them from us men because we are the danger to them, not feeling safe at home, in schools, at work, and in the streets. I was raised by a single mother and 3 brothers. She often lived her days in silent tears and despising anything that had to do with men because of her abuse experienced at the hands of men. Meanwhile, my eldest brother was criminally imprisoned for 18 years. Regardless, I was still expected to be an example to my little brother, grow up to be a gentleman of character, become a husband I've never seen, bear children, and be a fatherly example I've rarely experienced. It sounds rather controversial, but the development of the boy child is of utmost importance for the moral etiquette of society and safety of all women. It all starts with us today, as men in this parliament, by declaring 365 days of activism from all of us men in South Africa. It's hardly spoken about proactively, but immensely challenged reactively. Often 16 days of activism is mirrored with slogans, condemnation, and many of us saying, I'm not one of those men. Well, it's not enough, gentlemen. Unfortunately, it's high time we as men take tangible action. And it starts with acknowledging that the legacy of colonialism and apartheid and continued patriarchy, which saw the brutal and systematic oppression of black people and women in particular, has left our society with deep emotional and mental scars. Some of the ways in which the pains of these deep scars manifest themselves are seen through the senseless and brutal headlines that we as men continue to make. We live in a society of fatherless homes, abusive husbands, drug-abusing criminal men, and men who generally run away from their responsibilities without any accountability. Young boys in our communities grow up exposed to such conditions and yet expected to be upstanding citizens of the Republic without having been equipped with the necessary life skills and guardians to break the cycle. Men of character and principles that can be role models for future generations are few and far in between. Little proactive steps have been taken by us men to address the consistent development of the boy child that immensely contributes to society's atrocities such as crime, rape, abuse, violence, absent fathers, and the cycle of breeding. This immoral status quo is not challenged with the vigor it deserves. No, being a man should not be about how much physical strength you possess or how cool you are to your peers, but what principles and values guide your life and the example you set thereof, coupled with a good character and the responsibility to protect society from your individual self and those that are a potential threat to our collective peace. It is high time we exercise empathy, just the ability of walking in someone else's shoes. Our daily actions moving forward must be to challenge the status quo with the vigor which enhances hypermasculinity and the culture of misguided patriarchy. The aim, therefore, must be to achieve moral etiquette. It is about learning, unlearning, and relearning. Therefore, I am calling that Parliament and the President of South Africa must launch an action-based 365 days of activism led by men with specific tangible change targets in law, in policy, and government implementation, and call those men in business, in society, to launch the same campaign. In closing, I want to say, gentlemen, it starts today, where we challenge this vigorous gender-based violence and femicide with 365 days a year, 7 days a week, and 24 hours a day. It starts by joining our women and children now in these 16 days of activism to fight this evil scourge. I thank you.